Today's current affairs. US circulates, United States of America circulates draft resolution on Masood Azhar in the Security Council. USA circulates draft resolution on Masood Azhar in the Security Council. As you all know, Masood Azhar is the chief of Jaish-e-Mohammed. For a long time, India is asking to stamp him. For a long time, India is asking to stamp him as an international terrorist. But unfortunately, China is vetoing that. And USA took the lead. America took the lead in bringing sanctions against Jaish-e-Mohammed chief Masood Azhar at the United Nations. America wanted to stamp him as the international terrorist, Masood Azhar. But again, you all know China. China, whether it accepts it or not, we have to wait and see. Next important article today is Supreme Court is going to hear plea against 10% academic quota. As you all know, 103rd Constitutional Amendment, 103 Constitutional Amendment was passed providing 10% reservations to the academically weaker sections. Till date in India, we don't have reservations for academically weaker sections, but 103rd Constitutional Amendment Act, 103rd Constitutional Amendment Act speaks about reservations to academically weaker sections. Whether Supreme Court support it or not is a very big issue, because according to Mandal Commission judgment, Indira Sahane versus Union of India, reservation should not cross 50%. Reservation should not cross 50%. Whether Supreme Court accept this 10% quota for academically weaker sections or not is a question. Here, you need to know certain cases in India where in Tamil Nadu, reservations reached up to 68%. In Tamil Nadu, reservations reached up to 68%. Tamil Nadu government, in order to appease all the groups, various groups, started giving reservations for all demands. Finally, reservations reached up to 68%. And there is a limit. Reservation should not cross 50%. So, if it crosses 50%, what will happen? There will be a judicial review. You can file a court in the case in the judiciary. Judiciary might not accept. For that reason, in the Indian Constitution, you know, there are schedules. There is one schedule called 9th schedule. There is one schedule called 9th schedule. 9th schedule is basically meant for land reforms. 9th schedule is basically meant for land reforms. The reservations which were made by Tamil Nadu government were by 76th Constitutional Amendment. By 76th Constitutional Amendment were kept in 9th schedule. No judicial review. If you keep something in 9th schedule, there is no judicial review. Then in I.R. Coelho versus Union of India, Supreme Court said, in I.R. Coelho case, Supreme Court said, there is no blanket immunity of what all you keep in 9th schedule from judicial review. There is no blanket immunity for 9th schedule. Blanket immunity in the sense, what all you keep in the 9th schedule, they are not immune from judicial review. Even they can be questioned in judicial review. So, this is a story. Even in Telangana, 2 years back, the Telangana CM announced reservations for Muslim community, and reservation exceeded 50%. It went up to 62%. But whether the reservations will sustain in the court of law or not is a big issue. Whether the reservation sustain in the court of law is a big issue. Understood? Okay with it? Next topic. Coming to page number 9. Take page number 9. United States of America tracking the debris from anti-satellite missile test. As you all know, India had Mission Shakti. India successfully tested Mission Shakti. So, when you actually hit a satellite, there will be debris. Debris means waste. The debris is really fatal. So, US now is tracking for the debris. DEBRIS. US is tracking for the debris. Coming to today's editorial, power in space. Power in space. Yesterday, day before yesterday and today, the news is all about Mission Shakti. When the news is all about Mission Shakti, definitely you have to remember Mission Shakti. Okay, because this is one of the, and our success is DRDO, Defense Research and Development Organization. The entire success go to DRDO, Defense Research and Development Organization. Coming back, Mission Shakti. Mission Shakti is particularly important with respect to space wars. With respect to space wars, and Prime Minister announced that it is a strength and defense capability to maintain peace and stability. But there is one more issue on the topic. The issue is the Prime Minister's speech in the addressing to the nation about Mission Shakti now is under the scrutiny of Election Commission. Now it is under the scrutiny of Election Commission. Whether Prime Minister can address a nation without the permission of Election Commission when Model Code of Conduct is in vogue. When Model Code of Conduct is in vogue, whether it is a correct thing for the Prime Minister to speak or not. Let's see how Election Commission is going to decide on this issue. Next important article, an opposition narrative for 2019. An opposition narrative for 2019. This article is about politics in India, upcoming elections in India. The article speaks about the Congress coalitions in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Bihar and Maharashtra, and Congress was unable to form coalition in big states Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, and in Delhi Congress is also trying to woo the voters, but BJP is trying to gather the vote strength by showing M.BALA quote, how India retaliated M.BALA quote strikes. Okay, all these things government is claiming. The other particularly focused on India. See, it is not that if you have one single party dominance, one party getting a lot of power and strength, definitely that political party in India nowadays is being controlled and dictated by few leaders. The nation is run by only few leaders. What we need is strong leadership for the good of the nation, but unfortunately few leaders in the name of the party are dictating the terms. And second thing is, this is entire issue in Indian politics is about arithmetic. How coalitions are formed. For example, in India we follow first past the post system. First past the post system. Whoever gets more votes, they will be declared as elected. This is poll manipulation, election magic. For example, if 2-3 parties come together and forge a strong opposition to the incumbent party, there is a chance that this alliance might get a better deal. All anti-incumbency votes and all anti-establishment votes, all these things will come to the coalition group. So, most of the cases winning and losing in Indian elections go with small fraction of votes, 1%, 1.5%. So, if the opposition is strong, forge a strong alliance, definitely they will have a lead. and they can maintain some diversity in the country, because India is a very large country. What we need is communal amity, not enmity. Amity means friendship, AMITY, justice and economic equality. So India has to work for that end. And the Congress government have announced minimum income guarantee scheme. Minimum income 6,000 to the people who are under poverty line. So 6,000 income. That means per annum they will get 72,000 rupees. Definitely it's going to be big, very big poll promise. That means India per annum we want 3.6 lakh crores. India per annum we require 3.6 lakh crores. How far it is going to work out is a very big question. But still it's a very good promise. And for this, now the incumbent government has to provide some counter, something extra. You all know already PM Kisan, Pradhan Mantri Kisan, 6,000 rupees for the farmers, and in 3 installments, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. Whether this will work out or this minimum income guarantee scheme will work out, all these things, let's see how it is going to work out in the next month. Next article, the shape of an urban employment guarantee. The shape of an urban employment guarantee. In India, we have the worst kind of unemployment. 6.1% of unemployment last year. Unemployment rate is 6.1%. The unemployment data is 45 years worst. In the last 45 years, this is the highest unemployment rate. And we have MG Narega in rural areas. We don't have proper employment program in the urban areas. There are two concepts in urban areas. One is underdevelopment, second is underemployment, second is unemployment. There are two concepts, underemployment and unemployment. For example, if a M.Tech graduate works as a bus conductor, it's called underemployment. That means possessing a skill of M.Tech, he is working under a lower skill. That's called underemployment. Unemployment means a person who is willing to work in the working age, who does not get work, is called unemployment. Urban India is facing both underemployment and unemployment. The central government and state governments are looking at the urban areas as engines of growth, but they also should be addressed. They also should be addressed as sustainable employment generation activities. If you work in urban development, you should also have sustainable urban development. Unless you have proper employment opportunities, it's very difficult for sustainable urban development. As you all know, today 31% of Indian population lives in urban areas. By 2035, 50-50. By 2050, 70% of Indians are going to live in urban areas. So there will be a lot of stress in urban areas. This stress also we can see in employment levels and unemployment levels. Here comes in 1997 Pradhan Mantri Shahari Rozgar Yojana. Some schemes are there, but in the large scale urban unemployment problem is not being addressed by successive governments. What we need is the government has to cater the needs of urban unemployment and should provide employment for even for semi-skilled and unskilled workers, and they can make smart cities along with employment levels also, because smart cities needs lot of establishment, infrastructure development, which needs lot of unskilled, semi-skilled and skilled labor. So why don't you synchronize employment generation and smart cities program, urban rejuvenation programs? In that way you can think it off. Okay. The most important article today, which I left it to the last before going to that, actually March 29th today is the deadline for Brexit. Britain should have been exited by this time, but it was being postponed. I think Theresa May might resign very soon. Her government, she might get out very soon. Let's hope that the issues will be settled down in Britain. Coming back, the most important article today. America openly said America declared that Golan Heights is a part of Israel. They have removed the word occupied. Actually, Golan Heights is occupied by Israel. Israel is a Jewish state. You all know, during the Second World War, Hitler persecuted Jews. At that time, there is no state called Israel. By Balfour Declaration in 1917 and in the aftermath incidents, the Britain, America and some other countries, they have supported Israel, and Israel have settled down in the territory of Palestine. Now in the world map after 1948, there is no country called Palestine, but you have a country called Israel. There is no country called Palestine, but you have a country called Israel. And there are many Arab-Israel wars, Israel-Arab wars. Arab countries are Islamic countries and Israel is a Jewish country. And Syria, Israel, Egypt, Israel, Jordan, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Israel, they don't have proper connections. In fact, Arab world is against Israel and Arab world is supportive to Palestine. In the year 1967, there was third Arab-Israel war, in which Israel occupied Golan Heights belong to Syria. And now everybody recognized from last 52 years that Golan Heights were occupied by Israel. Why Israel needs Golan Heights? More than 70% of Golan Heights is now occupied by Israel. Why Israel needs Golan Heights? First thing is drinking water, and as such water is a very scarce thing in Israel. I think you all know Israel knows water conservation technologies, desalination plants, drip irrigation technologies. Why Israel is focused on this? Because water is a very scarce resource in Israel. Golan Heights is good for water resource. First thing. Second thing, Golan Heights is a fertile zone, and also between Jordan, Israel, Syria, in this region, Golan Heights is a strategic region as a buffer zone and for security purpose. And having Golan Heights in its side, Israel will have an edge. So for that reason, at all costs, Israel will not give away Golan Heights to Syria. Israel will never give away Golan Heights to Syria. In the year 1967, there is a war called 6-Day War. In 6-Day War, actually Israel seized Sinai Peninsula, Sinai, Sinai Peninsula and Gaza Strip, Sinai Peninsula and Gaza Strip from Egypt, and it have returned back Sinai Peninsula recently. It have given back Sinai Peninsula, and in the same year West Bank and Eastern Jerusalem from Jordan. In the same year, West Bank and Eastern Jerusalem from Jordan. And now America in the UNSC, Syria requested UNSC to pressurize and pass a resolution in favor of Syria with respect to Golan Heights. And America told in UNSC, which came as a surprise to all other 14 members. There are total 15 members in UNSC, 5 permanent, 10 non-permanent. Except America, everybody got surprised. America declared that Golan Heights are the part of Israel. You all know America and Israel are all-weather friends. There is no America without Israel. Jewish lobby is very strong in America. Jewish people are very good business people in America. American presidential elections will be funded by Jewish people. Next year there are American presidential elections. Okay, already Trump said, Trump actually transferred American embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, recognizing Jerusalem completely belongs to Israel. Recognizing Jerusalem completely belongs to Israel. Now America openly declared that Golan Heights are the part of Israel. It is not occupied, are the part of Israel. Instead of providing solution for the Middle East problem, America is aggravating it. Instead, America said, I have accepted this to create peace in the Middle East, to create stability in the Middle East. America's version is, I have accepted that Golan Heights is the part of Israel because I wanted to create a stability in the Middle East. It is injustice. It is injustice. Understood? 100 years of International Labour Organization. ILO was created in 1919 and 2019 is 100th year. It completed 100 years. For this year prelims, ILO is the most important question. This year prelims, ILO is the most important question. International Labour Organization. Okay, done? Let us go with politics.